those feelings I had that I was telling you about of not quite feeling like I fit in or like I didn't measure up when I was young, none of that mattered. And I got accepted into the University of Iowa my senior year of high school. And I remember that third quarter of my senior year, I was a 4.0 student. And once I got accepted into University of Iowa College of Engineering, I just kind of let all that stuff slide. And I remember my grades for the fourth quarter were just over a 2.0. And I also, and part of my story is also has drugs involved with it, you know, and I started smoking marijuana as a senior in high school too. You know, when I made these rationalizations up, there's always a rationalization for me going through it. My progression of alcoholism and drug use. You know, I rationalized to myself, well, you know, marijuana, it's naturally grown, you know, there's, you know, it's grown in the ditches out there, you know, and Mother Nature created it. I thought, you know, how harmful could it really be? You know, but I'll never do any of those kind of drugs like, you know, acid or cocaine or anything like that. So I graduated high school and it's time to go off to the University of Iowa. And I get there and it is party central. You know, I'd always wanted to be a Hawkeye growing up. You know, and there's two main schools in Iowa as far as I was concerned. You know, there was Iowa and Iowa State. And Iowa State was known to be the better engineering school. I didn't really care about that, even though I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to go be a Hawkeye. And I did that. And, you know, once I got out of the house, a lot like Tim was talking about, that structure was gone, you know. And I was on my own. And I was drinking a lot. And I was smoking marijuana a lot. And I got caught smoking marijuana in the dorm rooms up there. And I had to go get a substance abuse evaluation at a place called Mecca, I think. And I went in there and they said, well, as part of your requirements here, you're going to have to do like kind of an aftercare program or an outpatient program to stay in school. And also part of it was you're going to have to go to 2 AA meetings. And I went to the AA meetings, and I went in there, and I remember the people there were really nice. And there's people my age there, and they said, you know what, come hang out with us on Friday. We'll watch movies, we'll eat pizza, and, you know, it sounded really nice, but it literally seemed like every person around me was drinking alcohol. You know, the thing to do was to go out partying, and I could not fathom what life would be like up there without having that sort of an environment around me. So I'm in this program, and another part of it was they were going to do these random urinalysis while I would be going to this 7-week program. And I was still smoking marijuana. So here, and this is kind of crazy, but I'm going to tell you what I did. One of my buddies who didn't smoke marijuana, I'm putting his urine in a Ziploc baggie in my pants and going to these meetings every time I had to go to a meeting. You know, and they're not doing this random urinalysis. And I'm like, I should just get this thing over with so I can get tested fine and move on. So I asked him, I said, would you guys mind if, you know, I'm here early, if you want, I can go ahead and do this test and get it out of the way. And I did it, and I went through it, and I passed it, but it kind of just shows you some of the rationale that, and I was this person too, while in Iowa, I'm on academic probation every other semester. So I have a bad semester. If I didn't improve in that next semester, I'm out. So here I am, trying to get my grades up just enough where I'm able to stay in school. And this literally happened every other semester. I'm riding the line of just being able to stay in school. Well, there came a point in time where I screwed up and I had 2 bad semesters in a row. And I had to write a formal appeal that my grades were down again, and they let me stay, and I wasn't even married, accepted that excuse. So I got to stay in school, and part of what typified me as, an alcoholic, drug user was, I started to do things that would start to eat away at my soul. I'd get drunk after the bars, and on the way home, I'm checking every car door, looking for change, car stereos I could take, radar detectors, neat sunglasses, whatever. I'm just rampaging every car on the way back to my apartment drunk. I'm cheating in school, if I'm not doing my studying, and if I can look at your paper while I'm doing the test because I haven't studied, no problem. If I can bring in answers on a sheet of paper to help me pass, all these little things I didn't realize the way it was eating away at my soul. I get kind of emotional sometimes when I talk about this stuff, and I just want to say too, I'm so grateful for my family being here tonight. I got aunts and uncles and cousins and my mom and dad, and my little baby daughter was up there too. And their support has truly been incredible through all of this. So here I get through college somehow, and I remember my very last quarter of the 5th year that I was in college, and my parents are expecting me to graduate, and I know that I have to get a 2.48 or something to be able to graduate. I have to get my average over 2.0. I have to get a 2.48, and I'm screwing up, and I'm running around frantically to the classes where the grades are posted outside, and somehow, I don't know how this happened, but I get the grades that I needed to graduate. If I would have had a C- instead of a C+ in any one class in that last semester, I would have been below the 2.0 to graduate. So now, I graduate, and I'm terrified because I don't know what it's going to take to be an engineer, because I've just totally partied away my whole college. I'm cheating to stay in school. I'm cheating to get by, and so I don't look for a job. I'm sitting there. I'm working in the parking ramps as a cashier at the University of Iowa hospitals. I'm graduated. I got my Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, and I'm afraid to go out into the workforce. So I'm working that summer after I graduate, and I'm telling my family, I'm kind of getting things in line. I'm going to go out and start interviewing here soon, but I'm not getting things in line. What I do, though, I do put a resume on file at the placement office at the University of Iowa, and a company comes looking for young engineers, and they send my resume out. Since I'm not sending it anywhere, they send it out to a company, and I get this interview down in Galesburg, Illinois, and I'm the type of person where I'm always kind of like a chameleon in a way. I could always fit in, even though I had these feelings of not fitting in. I've always been kind of a likable person that could fit in. I was on a homecoming court in high school, well liked by a lot of different groups of people. So I go to this interview, and I'm a Packer fan. The bosses there are Bear fans. I'm a Hawkeye fan. They're Illini fans, and we have a pretty good yuck it up session, so to speak. And I go back to University of Iowa, and by the end of that weekend, they offer me the job. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And it's incredibly scary, too, because now I'm going to have to go to work as an engineer, and I have no idea what that's going to take. And so I moved down to Galesburg, Illinois. I don't know anybody down there. And I get an apartment, and I start working, and this company has been really good. They're teaching me what I need to know. Whatever I didn't learn money, but I got the student loans, and I've got all the bills to pay, and I got a car loan, and I'm like, so this is life now? This is life after graduating? You know, and it was scary, and it was, I don't know how to explain it, but I just felt kind of like this is it, you know? So I go down there, and since I don't know anybody, one thing I do know is to go out to the bars and meet people. So I start going out to the bars, and I'm drinking a lot, and I start to, I'm living this kind of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde life, where I'm trying to be a professional at work, but as soon as I get off work, I'm smoking marijuana and drinking. You know, and it starts to mix up, you know, and I start doing these harder drugs. And, you know, I'm calling in sick to work, or I'm coming in smelling like alcohol, or I'm staying up all night until I have to work, and then going into work drunk or high on drugs. And, you know, they've got me going out in the field, doing these construction staking jobs, and, you know, I was fortunate for me to keep drinking and using drugs to be able to do that. But things start to catch up. I start to get calls from my parents that, hey, the Bolsters Credit Union says the car payment didn't get there. They had co-signed my loan, you know, and I'm making up these excuses, checks in the mail, or something else, check, or, you know, I'm doing whatever I can to not let them know what's going on with me. I can never do that. I can never reach out for help. So I proceed further into this alcoholism and drug addiction to the point where all my money is going to it. And I'm pawning everything I know to the pawn shop. You know, I'm going down to the pawn shop with these giant wooden console TV, and they're like, you don't want that, you know, and all I'm trying to get $25, you know, to try to keep getting that next high or that next drink. And finally, there comes a point in time where it's the Monday after payday, and all my money's gone, and none of it went towards bills. And I'm driving a work truck with one of my coworkers. He's driving the truck, and I'm, you know, usually in the passenger seat, maybe doing calculations or something like that, but that wasn't happening this day. And I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to shield my eyes from him because I'm crying because I can't go on living this way. You know, all my money's gone, and I don't know where I'm going. And I decide I'm going to make a phone call, and I call my mom up, and I say, Mom, I'm killing myself with drugs and alcohol, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And I remember her saying, well, what can we do for you, honey? And I said, I don't know, but I need help, you know. And I went into my boss that night, and I said to him, I need help, I need to go into treatment. You know, and they knew I had a problem. I had police showing up at work to arrest me for deceptive practice because I spend all my money on alcohol and drugs. I'm writing out bad checks all over town for pizza. Every restaurant in town I could write out a check to. I'm writing out my own checks. And all that ended up catching up to me. And, you know, they knew there was a problem. He said, you know, my boss came and he's like, you think you got a drinking problem? No, I think I'm just unlucky, you know. So